Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monica Spiritual Seeker. Today, I would like to talk about my experience um, with Vipassana. Vipassana meditation is something that many people have not really heard about. Although I was quite surprised because when I did go to the retreat, there were so many people from all walks of life. It was all, mixed. And that made me realize that this is not a religion. This is a spiritual experience that once in a lifetime, at least, everyone must experience. So I'll try to give my step by step or daily experience if possible. But I attended this almost a year ago. So based on my memory, I'll try to recreate the scene and explain what it's all about. All right. So what Vipassana meditation is, if you need more information, of course, I am not a teacher of it. So you can definitely go online and understand more about it. But the reason I'm here is to tell you that what did I feel and how did I feel? Because that's the whole point of it. The whole point or my intention of going to Vipassana meditation or Vipassana retreat was to have a spiritual experience, to go deeper into meditation. Because in a normal day to day walk of life, it's kind of difficult to kind of immerse ourselves completely in this. And we get very distracted with our daily lives happening around, So even if we meditate for a few minutes, we go back to our normal life and everything just kind of fades away. Whereas here, it's 10 days pure meditation. And I'm going to tell you what that typical day looks like, okay? So this is pure meditation, nothing else for 10 days. So what happens here? 10 days. Once you enter here, you forget the whole world. You cannot use your phone. Your phone is, either kept aside or it's kept in a locker, but you don't have access to your phone. You're not allowed to bring a paper or pen. You are not allowed to speak. The only person you can speak to would be the teacher that you're doing, the limited time, whatever time they allocate. So there's no communication at all. And there are very good reasons behind all this. And it sounds very tough, but honestly, once you are in that immersed in that environment, you don't really feel the need to talk, right? So that's the other thing. Normal day-to-day life, we get a desire to kind of express ourselves, to communicate. But in this, you do not communicate at all. And that's the reason why, as well, they ask you not to speak, not to look at someone directly, because even having an eye contact is a form of communication, right? So quietly just put your head down and carry on day to day. Was it tough? Extremely tough, extremely. I'm not going to lie. So the first day when I went in, I was actually quite surprised because I thought that many people might not have even heard about it, right? Because I had not heard about it for so many years. It was only recently when I had realized what Vipassana is, what it contains. I had never heard about it previously. So I expected many people like me, but I was pleasantly surprised that there were quite a lot of people. So the male and female, they are separate, right? They're separate areas for both of them. And I believe there are 50 men and 50 women. Okay, so in total around 100. That's what they kind of do. And normally these retreats are in away from the city, so more where it's covered by nature and it's beautiful, beautiful environment. Now, these retreats are globally centered. So, whichever country you're in, if you Google online Vipassana Meditation Center, whatever country you're in, you will find them in particular cities. So, everyone has access to it. And I'm going to tell you the fee right at the end. Okay, so stay tuned. So, most of the time, what happens is that you get a room of your own, right? Very rarely would you be sharing with someone else, but it can happen, right? But most of the time, you get a room of your own. The typical day starts at 4 a.m., right? That's when the typical day starts. And that's when, you get up, get ready, and your first meditation takes place for almost 2 hours. After that, you come back, you have your breakfast, okay? And then you get ready for the next meditation. Again, come back, there is a break, meditate again. Then there is lunch, followed by lunch. And the lunch is, of course, vegetarian. They do not cook non-vegetarian, so it's pure veg. And all the people as well who cook the meals, most of them are previous students out there who've come to do some form of service. And you have your lunch, you move around, you walk around. In between the time when you have, between a meditation, when you have some gaps available, that's when you can go out, take a walk, stretching. Oh God, there was a lot of stretching that took place because your body's not used to sitting for that long in that position. So the back can really hurt, your legs can really hurt. And I must say, for the first few days, I felt like I'm going to be torn apart. That's how it felt because it was just extremely painful. And your body kind of takes time to get used to it. So, yeah, you can take your shower as well anytime in between those free time. And they kind of allocate, usually between lunch hour, that's when they give you an opportunity to go and ask something to the teacher if you have any question or need any clarification. Now, most of these meditation is kind of, very, very silent. It's not a visualization. So in the beginning, it's kind of explained what you need to do, and then you just carry forward and carry on. So there's a lot of peace and silence in this. And I'm not going to reveal much about the meditation because I'd like to keep that kind of a secret because if any of you are interested, it's going to make it much more a better experience for you to go and listen for yourself. All right. Of course, nowadays online you get most of the information, but I prefer to kind of go and have that experience. Right. So again, in the afternoon, you have this meditation, a break, and then you go back again. So there are a couple of it, at least 5 times it happens. In the evening, there is a discourse by Mr. S.K. Goenka, the man who kind of started, I won't say started Vipassana, that's not correct, but he started the retreats globally, all right? So he gives his discourse, and that is the part whole day you kind of wait for because it's been so quiet, nobody's speaking, nobody's saying anything. And this is like a fuel to your mind because he's kind of explaining what is it, how is it. Every day there'll be something new, talking about life, explaining about life, how your body works, how your mind works. It was just such a beautiful experience, beautiful. Now, it was tough. It was definitely very tough. And I must say that if you survive the first 3 to 4 days, there's a good chance you're going to survive the rest of the days. So you need to keep yourself very, very strong at that time. Because initially, it kind of felt like, I'm stuck. Where have I come? Why did I make this decision of even coming here? And it's just like as if you're, being locked up in a cell. And our mind is not used to it. And I must tell you something very interesting because most of the time I have my phone in my hand, right? Kind of like this. And I didn't have my phone anymore. That was under locker. I didn't have access to it. Yeah, you don't have access to your phone, no communication at all, zero communication, right? And I realized a couple of times in the day, my hands were going like this. I just found it so hilarious that how conditioned we are in life, right? So what I had to do is I had to kind of get like, let me see this, like a bottle like this in hand and move around with this. It just made me feel like I'm holding something. That was me. But of course, each and every individual would kind of have their own experience. It was very peaceful. Get up in the morning, you can hear the birds chirping. But again, with the day-to-day life that we're in, initially it did not feel peaceful. There was a lot of anxiety that was coming up, a lot of nervousness that was happening. Um, and you just don't know how to deal with it. And every day, at least for me personally, I was having this countdown in my head. When will the 10 days get over? When will I come out from this? And, initially when you're starting up the meditation as well, You're doing it for so many hours, right? Like I said, you're in pain. The other thing is that you don't really have those experiences in the initial stage. It's like a foundation being laid. So you don't really feel anything. So you wonder, why am I here? I'm not even having any experience. I'm not feeling anything. What is the whole purpose? You just cannot comprehend. And that's when you need to hold yourself really, really, really tight and have faith. And that's when Sir Goenka's evening discourse comes into play, because every day, as if he's reading our mind, okay? And by the way, these are recorded. He's, not there anymore. These are recorded. And these are being played at every center. That's because they do not want the information to be diluted, right? So whatever information Sir gives, that gets replayed in every course. So you get the information directly from the source, right? So he explains every day, and that's kind of, in your mind, you're thinking, how do you know that? Because that's what everyone is feeling those days, and that's what everyone feels in their day-to-day life as well. So it's such a wonderful thing that no matter how different we look, no matter how different our life experiences are, in the core, we all are the same, we all are one, right? So once the 5 days got over, there is a sort of hope that, okay, yes, half is completed. Now, just another 5 days more, and we're going to be done. So that's kind of what happened. And that was a motivational factor that you're halfway there. Now, things changed a lot from the seventh day. From the seventh day, it's like my body and mind started getting used to it. I started enjoying that music of the birds chirping. Yes, meditation was still tough, but whenever, coming towards the closer, like after 5 days, you're kind of expected to sit in the same position without moving. And whenever that would happen for an hour and you do it, it's like a sense of achievement that, yes, I did it. So there was something to look forward to, a goal set in mind. And you also start noticing very subtle um, changes that's happening in your body. You start, you just start feeling it very subtly. And you start hearing the silence, you start enjoying the silence. And it's very difficult to kind of explain in words, but it was an experience I've never had before. And, I'm someone who has been meditating for a very long time. It was not the same experience at all. And that just shows you that um, how much time we actually need to put in for having a real experience. Anyway, you start now appreciating everything that's happening over there, everything. And everyone is going to have a different experience. Some will have on the 7th, some will have on the 9th, some might not have it all as well. It all is very individual, right? If you go with an expectation, it doesn't happen. You should always just leave the expectation behind. So the final day comes up, and we can actually now talk on the last day. And being women, we actually started talking, right? So everyone shared their own experience. We all, of course, had similar thoughts, had similar yeah, we just kind of had similar experiences of what we were feeling inside and going through. One thing that was very interesting, right? On the final day, on the last day before leaving, we had the opportunity then to go to the locker and take our phone and switch it on. Um, I went to the locker, took my phone, kept it on my table, and I did not switch it on. A part of me kind of got nervous now entering the outer world. The world that initially I was afraid to leave, now I was afraid to enter back to that world again, because I was experiencing so much peace and bliss in this environment. It just felt so comforting that I was just so nervous to even switch on my phone, wondering what email, what text, what is going to happen now again, and all the stress in life. And I didn't want that. So I just spent more time over there, and it was only like right towards the end when I switched it on. And that experience kind of stayed with me for a very long time, but it didn't take long for the world to kind of pull me back in again. But till date, I still miss that feeling. I still feel like holding on to it. I guess now I wonder why so many people, very often go back there, even though it's tough, even though it's, um, initially it's painful, but the reward is so blissful that you start realizing that how we're living now is not what it's supposed to be. Now, some of the effects that I felt was I usually cannot live without my coffee, right? And I need to have a cup of coffee for at least a couple of cups a day, right? The days I was in the retreat, I did not touch coffee at all, at all. And my other thing is I like sweets and I do kind of crave it. I didn't crave any sweets at all. So these were all like inner things that were, being cleansed. And I felt so calm. I felt like, even if someone throws a stone at me, I will not react. So they were strong, strong changes that I felt. Now, when I did come out to the outer world, initially, yes, I could still maintain it because you have to maintain that meditation as well. You see, they kind of expect you to do an hour in the morning and evening. But I was unable to manage it with the time that I was running. So slowly that, I started getting pulled in to the world again. But of course, the desire is still there to kind of go back again, or even if not go back, at least to start off my meditation practices again, the Vipassana meditation practice, to experience that blissfulness. Now, you must be wondering what the fee is, right? And the fee is zero. There is no fee for this. It's purely based on donation. At the end of on the last day, you can donate how much ever you want, whatever you feel is reasonable, whatever you feel you've got value out of it. And that donation will be used for the next batch, for their food and for, everything else that's being provided out there. That is the power of it. So clearly, the intention here is not for money. Clearly, the intention here is for you to experience and to evolve yourself. And will I go back again? Yes, I will. And that's why I'm sharing this experience after 1 year of being to Vipassana meditation. I didn't want to just, make this video immediately after that, just with that, all that excitement coming up and then it fizzles away. No. I really wanted to experience that and see how it feels. And after time has gone by, do I still value it? And that's the reason why I'm here now to share with you my experience. And of course, there's so much more I wish I could say, and I've kind of just made this as brief as I could to tell you that how transformational this can be. There are many videos online where people share about their experiences. Some maybe not so great as well because they've not experienced anything. It's all very, very individual. But for me, it's turned out to be very positive, and hence why I would definitely encourage you to have this experience. In fact, personally, I feel everyone should experience this once in a lifetime to truly know what life is. Thank you so much for listening to this. And if you feel that this video has given you some value, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe this video. It would mean a lot. And do share it with your family and friends, those of them who've never heard what this is all about. This will definitely change your life. Thank you and see you soon.